right, hello, welcome to Adventures on Lollygagging. We're back. We're playing more Call of Cthulhu. Maitreyi has done a sufficient amount of apologizing to be allowed back on the stream, and so we're all here again. It's great. We were mentioning how it's been a couple weeks, I think, since the Magnus Archives finale. That like the six of us have been on the same stream together, which is crazy. It's crazy, and to think you all nearly died last week, and maybe some of you did. We're gonna find out tonight.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Maitreyi, did you listen to the
I did. And every time I don't show up, I almost die.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
There is a correlation there.
And it's intentional.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's intentional.
Hey, listen.
I fucking knew it.
It's a shame. It's a shame there wasn't something that you guys could use with psychology. Don't all of you have like really high psychology?
Yeah.
Everyone's got great psychology, but no one's like, hey, piloting, hey, mechanical repair. You know?
No. If I could have flirted with the plane itself or the spiders, that would have been lovely.
Yeah. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty and do the blue collar job. You know? No one wants to be.
I asked how the plane is feeling.
You could have if you would have made that case last week.
I actually
can I use psychology to deduce?
I actually don't have psychology. I only have the base 10.
Really? Oh, wow. You might be the only character that doesn't then.
You have astronomy. That's cool. That would have been useful. You could tell.
That would have been useful. Unfortunately.
It would have been really useful. Yeah. It would have been pretty good. I mean, it's not useful here, but like, you know, there it would have been great.
It would have been cool.
What else do you got? What else do you have on this one-shot character that we're
I have
immediately
really
going to say goodbye to?
A cult.
Yeah, a cult's pretty big. I don't see how that's going to be useful.
No idea.
Yeah. 80 and a cult. I see that. Cthulhu Mythos at 10. Who's got the highest Cthulhu Mythos? Does anyone have 10 beat?
Exactly 10.
I have 10, yeah.
Okay.
That's
pretty good. 3 of you at 10.
That's good. That's dope.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. Well, let's dive back in. They don't really want to chat, so let's just go. Last time around,
I can grind everything to a halt by sharing the really bad joke that was made to just double on both the interruption and the bad joke. That the aircraft made its feelings plain.
No.
You're welcome.
That's a good start. Let's go.
Does anyone else see Jeff's soul like left his body?
Oh, is that what that?
Or is that just me because I can see ghosts?
No, I can see it too.
Okay.
Everybody roll a D100.
Good.
Go ahead, just D100.
Oh man.
Go ahead and roll D100.
24.
Take 24 points of damage.
Oh god.
All right, I'm dead.
Yes, that's one.
I would also be dead. One-shot character.
Yeah, I roll pretty high.
Gone.
I've seen some pretty high rolls.
All right, so what are we playing today?
48.
I don't know. Session 0 something. Okay. Anyhow. Last time around, we started off in Arkham. We had to do some psych evals. We saw them with Will and Marie and Patrick. They had a series of sessions with Dr. Mulig to assess their fitness to continue the investigation. Marie, Patrick, both of you were very honest with the doctor. Patrick, you are still somewhat in denial about what might have befallen Anna. Will, you took a completely different tactic and just lied your ass off and promised to continue treatment if you returned from Malta. You also met with Cyrus Lanfear, the head of the Orin Library at Miskatonic University and kind of your contact at this point. And he told you that you could meet up with an occult friend of his in Marseille, which is where the headquarters for the European operations of Janet Winston Rogers' company is. And you can meet her. Her name is Goldie Ambrose, which we now know is Ashley's character. Cyrus also tried to talk you out of bringing the extraordinarily rare and disgusting and vile volumes of the Revelations of Gla'aki with you. And Will, you lied, said, hey, I'm not going to do it. And then you did. You like knocked over like a coffee cup or something like that and stole them and ran and whatever. A week later, we saw you all after traveling across the Atlantic once more. You landed in Marseille and you met up with Goldie at her curio shop. And Goldie was in the midst of some kind of ghost drawing session. It seems she has some ability to see ghosts. And she also claimed that there were multiple spirits that were following members of the party. One of them she named as Victor Cortez, which those of you who were in Mexico City would recognize. And apparently you all failed to protect him. And so he's kind of haunting you now. The other was a woman claiming to be Anna, who tried at one point to grab Patrick's hand, but couldn't because she had no fingers. Will, Patrick, the two of you left. You were very suspicious of Goldie's claims. Carmelita, Marie, both of you remained behind, and there was like a little private dinner that the three of you had. Patrick, Will, you stopped at this basement cabaret for a drink. Patrick, you felt the mouth kind of stirring, so you left. On your way back to the hotel, you got a sense that you were being followed, and lo and behold, you were by a very disheveled-looking Louis Moreau from the French Foreign Legion. He claimed that Marseille was his home and that he was on leave, and that was pretty much it for your conversation. Will, you met a very beautiful young man. Two of you had a very wonderful night together. You spent that night in your hotel room. And then the next day, you all boarded the Silver Lance and you flew to Valletta. However, as you were in the final approach towards the island, a couple miles out, Frank Kearns started to convulse. The plane lurched sideways and things went crazy. Will, Patrick, you managed to get up to the cockpit, but you found that Frank was foaming from the mouth. The controls were busted or broken in some way. There was smoke rising from behind the instrument panel. And there was a white spider that started to attack. And there were others as well. So one of them eventually caught Will after you took over the controls from Frank. The other attacked Marie as you were going for a first aid kit. And then another one for Patrick as he was trying to get behind the instrument panel to repair some kind of electrical short. Goldie, you tried to do the best you could for Frank. Medicine's not your thing. And Marie, you at one point tried to enter the crawl space below the cockpit to figure out what was causing the stick to actually be so jammed. But that's when Will started to convulse as a spider bit him as well. Patrick, you wrestled the controls away from Will, but not fast enough. And then the Silver Lance plunged into the Mediterranean a mere mile or more from the airport. Isn't that crazy? You're just like a mile away right there.
I can swim a mile.
So close.
I mean, I'm paralyzed right now, but I could swim a mile.
I mean, what's your swim score?
You died. I don't know what you're talking about.
Like 20.
Yeah, exactly.
That's proficient.
All right. Let me get a little crazy. Let's get some music going. And then we'll start up. What do I want to do? Let's do, I don't know what. I probably should have thought about this. Let's do.
We're discussing in chat whether or not we could swim a mile.
I mean, none of us could, but probably Steven's real life wife could. I think she wouldn't have.
She's done it many
times.
Hell
yeah.
Yeah. No issues.
That is true. That is true.
Actually, I think I could do it. I think I could do it. I don't think I would be in good condition at the end.
I don't know if I definitely couldn't, but I think Long might be able to. I kind of feel like Long can swim a mile.
Thanks for believing
Long,
me.
do you do a lot of swimming, Long?
I used to, like in swimming pool.
Okay.
I can swim a mile.
All right.
I definitely could not.
Maitreyi just didn't believe me when I said I could. Just so Long because he's young. Oh, look at him, he's so young, so fit. You're old. Whatever. Okay. We're gonna start up. So what we saw, the last thing we saw was the plane veering down, kind of clipping the water, and eventually crashing in. And we see this like hodgepodge of images of like fire, screams. We see water bubbling up. We see a few of you like reaching for this, banging your heads, blood in the water, fire coming from the instrument panels. We see the wing kind of breaking off and sinking. We see luggage and all sorts of different debris starting to float this way and that. It's just like this cacophony of sound as various shouts for help are paired with the sounds of various aspects of the ship buckling and sinking. And each one of you, no doubt, you're struggling. For those of you who managed to keep consciousness during the initial crash, but you're quickly having some trouble keeping your heads above water. Carmelita, I need you to roll a Constitution test, please.
Nope.
Last we saw of Carmelita, when the plane lurched, you had banged your head, and we saw you kind of crumple to the ground in the back of in the passenger area of the plane.
26 under 60.
Excellent. Okay, you go ahead and reduce your HP by 10 points. We see the last thing we kind of focus in on is we see like as we kind of pull back from this sinking plane, and we see like a tail, like the tail kind of still sticking up in the back. We see one of the wings has fractured and it's kind of floating off by itself. We see amongst the debris like bodies floating here and there. And one of those is Carmelita, as Carmelita has been like caught up in some small current that seems to be pulling her away from the plane.
Just for
Carmelita.
housekeeping, that is half my hit points, so that's a major wound.
Okay, so Carmelita, do me a favor. As we watch like your body floating kind of away from this wreckage, give us a little bit of the life flashing before your eyes. Like, what is it we see of Carmelita as she does this?
It starts with sort of sound of clacking keys and dings of typewriters, and you kind of fade into this bustling newsroom in Mexico City. Carmelita is like 10 years younger. She's older. She's a lot more brash, and she's having this beaming conversation with this older man with a hell of a mustache. She's got her first byline about corrupt factory owners. Sort of jumps forward to that same editor kind of telling her to let her story go, which she doesn't, and that ends up getting her fired. She then sort of drowns herself in booze and cigarettes and nameless hookups for a little while, and at some point she gets picked up on a drunk charge, and that's where she makes Gomez her friend, because she's in charge of that. Then we sort of hear this man's voice, Father Sebastian Morales. He's kind of fixing a wooden floor in his crumbling parish, and she's passing half an empanada to him, and he is saying, some stories aren't worth chasing. I tell him that's stupid, but I'm still wearing his cross. And as her eyes close, her hands go up to that cross and hold it.
So like underneath the water, like probably we just see like the cross kind of floating loosely and your hand just limply come up. We kind of continue underneath the water, like this little underwater cam, back to the wreckage into the cockpit, where we see three people. We see Patrick, we see Will, and we see, I think Goldie as well was in there at the last second. Marie, you had gone into the crawl space. So the three of you are kind of plunging deeper and deeper and deeper into the water. It's not like this like immediate sink, but like you're kind of stuck and like the water rushes in from the fractured windshield. And Will, you are in this like state of paralysis at the same time. And so you're like, when we zoom in on his face, we can see not only are your eyes like wide open, maybe with a bit of terror, but we see this like little discoloration of the water as the bubbles start to come out as you're trying to breathe from whatever foam is still coming out. And you are just kind of stuck now at this point. Your arms not really working, your legs not really working, maybe a twitch of a finger or a toe, but you're just sort of wedged between the pilot's seat and where the instrument panel weaves around to maybe the left side of the plane, and you're just kind of stuck there. And we're just watching this paralyzed look of terror as you're just drifting and drifting. What is it that is going through Will's mind, do you think, in this moment?
Will is taken back to very early childhood. We see him he sees himself again as like 6-year-old Will. He's still very much got the baby face, but this time it suits him. And you see that he is being held underwater, this dirty, muddy water, and there's a hand like pushing him down, and he's struggling against it, but he just can't fight it until finally the hand releases and he bursts out of this creek. It's this little ditch that's just overflowing with water with these like spring rains, and you see Will has been swimming in there with his brothers. They're all laughing. They were teasing him, holding his head underwater. He goes and he just starts like ineffectively punching his brother's chest, and then it starts to change in his mind as he goes into this sort of dream logic, and he gets older, and that creek just kind of like drains a little bit, and we see just two sets of footprints in the creek, and we see like almost like the chalk outline that you would expect for a body, the imprint in mud of a body there. There's no actual body, just the absence of space there, and you see Will just looking at it, and he's crying, and suddenly it's raining as he's looking at this mud, and then it changes again where he's running in the rain, this heavy rain, and he's still, you can't tell if he's got tears or if it's just the rain, but he looks upset, and you see that there's someone chasing him, and you realize that it's this sort of drill instructor that is just yelling and screaming at him, and Will is running as hard as he can. Finally, he gets to the end. The drill instructor is still yelling and yelling, and he asks some sort of question. It's inaudible. Will can't even remember it, and you see Will crack a sort of smile and say something that he thinks is very funny, and the drill instructor just gets even more upset, throws him to the ground, and we see Will doing push-ups in this mud with the rain coming down, and the drill instructor's got his foot on his back until Will's arms just give out and he falls into the mud and passes out.
We like come back into the cockpit again off that memory, and the pressure that you're feeling on the back in that memory from the drill instructor, you feel a pressure on your back, and you can't see it, but we can see the body of Goldie Ambrose, who, Goldie, you weren't bit by any spider, so you're like thrashing around. The hatch is open to the crawl space underneath. You look back through the door to the passenger area, and you see one whole side of the plane has been ripped free. You see Carmelita's body kind of floating through it. You look at the broken windshield in front of you, and you see kind of Patrick maybe swimming out a bit and kind of scraping himself against some of the broken glass. And maybe we see like Goldie just grab the back of Will and kind of attempt to swim. And it's hard, right? Because your swim score is very low, I think.
Yes,
is that not correct?
That's very correct.
What do you think is going through her mind as she sees a potential way out, but she also has this man that she just met and is very suspicious of your abilities? What do you think is going through Goldie's mind in this moment as the water rushes into the cockpit?
Absolute panic. She was aware that she was going to have to be a consult, and that, she was intending to read and do research for these people, and yet already things are so terrible. And with the water rushing in at them, her panic kind of increases exponentially. And she flashes back to this memory where she's on a beach, and she drifted out too far while she was swimming, and her parents got out of the water because they were resting and preparing lunch, and she was alone. And suddenly she got hit by this undercurrent, this undertow, that just kind of yanked her underwater, and she continued to just spin and spin like she's in a wash cycle before she got spit out, and she's gasping and she's barfing water that she swallowed, and then she gets sucked under again. And it's at that moment that her grandmother realized she was missing and kind of grabbed her and was able to swim with her to shore. And so, emulating her grandma, just straight instinct, she just goes to grab Will, and she just tries her hardest to get both of them out to safety and to shore.
So we come back into the cockpit again, and we just see you just trying to swim, and every inch that you make of progress towards that opening in the cockpit we just see more water rush in. We see more like we see the actual nose of the plane continue to sort of sink down a bit. And then eventually we fade from there as we don't yet see you escape. Inside of the crawl space, Marie, last we saw of you were being harassed by not one but two of these white spiders and you were swatting at them and managing to dodge them, and you hadn't quite reached like this mechanical connector to try to see what was going on and why the stick was so jammed and busted. And that's when the plane crashed and you just bounced off every wall left and right. Maybe you get like knocked unconscious for a moment and your eyes come back open and you see water filling this crawl space. And up ahead, you can see the machinery, like this gear, these different machine parts. Probably Marie isn't sure what to call them exactly, but you see them there, but they're already underwater, and you see the water is continuing to pull up and up into the crawl space. There's a little pocket of like air where you're at right now. You see like one of the little white spiders is floating in the water, already dead. A second one you can see is scrambling on the ceiling, trying to race back up to the trap, the hatch, and where maybe it can find some sort of dry. What do you think is going through Marie's mind as she is trapped in this small little pocket of air as the plane clearly crashed and is taking on water?
I would say that Marie is like frantically kind of kicking her legs. And so kind of from that image of her, kind of like in this space, just kind of like frantically kicking and kicking and kicking, you kind of see this kind of image of a well-dressed foot marching, and you kind of zoom out and you see a teenage Marie in, kind of a skirt that goes all the way to the ground, very proper high collar and hat, marching, holding signs that say votes for women, freedom for women is not a crime. And you just hear like the marching of the feet and the marching of the feet. And then you see kind of a foot falls kind of quickly, and you kind of see a kind of similar shoe, but a very short black skirt with a white apron over it. And you see a early 20s Marie and an early 20s Nancy Lombard, and they're waitressing in a restaurant, and they're walking quickly. They both have their full trays. And as they're walking, they're, kind of like gossiping and whispering, and they're looking over at a foretop of, well-dressed 20s gentlemen, and one of them you can see is a younger Georgie, when we saw a flashback from her earlier. And then you see kind of that foot again, but it's tapping on like a stage, and you kind of zoom out, and you see Marie dressed very well, tapping her foot. She's got a full band behind her. She's singing. Because zoom out, there's a banner that kind of hangs behind that says happy anniversary. And as you pan out into the crowd, you see Janet Winston Rogers.
And as we come back into the crawl space, you are trying to turn around to get back to the hatch, but the water rushes in and completely fills the crawl space. And now you can't breathe. We cut then to Patrick, you had managed to, because you were sitting in the seat as the plane came down, you kind of got launched forward and through the windshield, effectively, almost like a car stopping, and then you just kind of getting propelled outward to a degree. And so you find yourself for this moment as you shake your head and you feel like a dizziness to you. Your eyes are opening to water, but also to what you probably know is blood at this point, as you no doubt have some kind of contusion and cut. But there you are, kind of just floating for a moment, like in this dark water. And maybe there's a moment of uncertainty, like, well, where am I? What just happened? But then as you turn back, you can see the full wreckage of the Silver Lance just sinking. You can see parts of it are still above water, the tail, and maybe some of the rear of the passenger area. But the cockpit is pinched down. You can see one of the wings has ripped off, and you see nobody, but you see all of these different bits of debris and luggage and stuff begin to branch outward. What do you think's going through your mind as you have this vision, like you can see the plane sinking? You're by yourself.
Flashback to a warm summer evening. Patrick's in his early teens, playing baseball with his father. You can smell the grass, cigarette smoke, hear his laughter, and me just whiffing baseball after baseball until you hear a crack, and it transitions to a radio. Zooms out of that. The Red Sox just won the World Series. You see Patrick cutting hair, the sound of clippers, sunlight, catching smoke in the shop, spinning a customer around, showing him his new haircut. And that radio sound slowly flickers into static and then raindrops. You see a little bit of an older Patrick, early 20s, running in the rain in the evening, bumps into a stranger outside of a jazz club. You see a young lady, crooked hat, running mascara. It's Anna. They exchange words, but the sound of rain overtakes her conversation.
And as we come back to, you see a bit of hair kind of floating out of one side of the windshield. You recognize it's dark, obviously. It doesn't look like Marie, but maybe you see like the colorful shawl of Goldie as she kind of is trying to get out from the cockpit. Do you think you would swim back to try to help her, or do you think you would just swim up to the surface?
I would grab on to what I recognize if it's Goldie or not and try to power myself through.
So we see Patrick just turn and just start swimming down and down, trying to pace with the sinking of the plane. And as we see him continuing to paddle and swim, the plane continues to sink, the water gets darker, and we just become an utter black screen. We open then with like clearly through the eyes of somebody. It's one of those moments where like we were watching a movie, like we see kind of like a flickering as light suddenly comes in, and we see a ceiling. It's white. It's kind of high and molding all over the place. There's a curtain, white, very pale, but not hanging from a window, but just seeming to almost like a divider. We kind of turn to the right, we see the same thing. And Marie, when you kind of come to, you look and you see that you are in a hospital bed. You can see you have on some kind of gown, hospital gown. You can see a sheet is over top of you. Your arms are cut up a bit here and there. Your fingers, your fingernails have been cut up as well. You feel awful. So just to reveal for everybody else, we rolled some damage for what they would have taken. And so this has already been done. Carmelita's been rolled on stream, but last time we did it as we were parting, just to see if anyone, see who died. Marie, you suffered significantly in the crash, but at some point in that crawl space, somehow you probably managed to break free. Exactly how, you're not sure. Maybe someone pulled you out. Maybe you got out there yourself. Maybe you just got lucky. Who knows? But you look around for a moment and you realize you are in a hospital bed. You can see, again, white curtains to the left and to the right of you, like privacy curtains. You can see the ceiling itself also kind of an off-white. There's little bits of like light gray or light green or blue, like some kind of coloring here and there underneath the molding. It's quiet, but you do hear the sounds of like voices muffled. You can't quite make out exactly what they are. What do you think you do?
Marie would, like, she feels awful, so she's not gonna jump up particularly quickly, but she's kind of getting her bearings and, checking all of her movements and all of that. And then memory will start to come back to her a bit about kind of what she last saw. And then kind of very weakly, you just sort of hear her kind of call out, Miss Buñuel? Mr. Sawyer? Mr. Price? And you see her thinking,
Will.
and she can't recall Ashley's new character name. And she's just, you see her thinking, like...
Maybe you call out Bev.
Maybe.
Key?
Dr. Key?
Will, you come to with probably a start. Like, and you look around, and similar to Marie, you are in some kind of bed. Pain everywhere on your body right now. You also feel stiffness in your fingers and your arms. But when you look down at them, you realize they are moving. The fingers are moving. Your arm is moving. It hurts. It's painful. You can see the bite wound where the spider had bit you on your kind of wrist hand area as you were holding the stick. It is discolored, and it looks as though it's been treated. However, you can see it's been cleaned, and you have some bandages, some stitches here and there, and the feeling is coming back to you. And then you hear the voice of Marie call out, Mr. Sawyer. You look around. You don't see her, but there does seem to be a privacy curtain.
I'm coming. And Will does his best. Like, he's thinking that he just is going to jump off the bed and, like, run up, but it ends up being more like he rolls and just, like, loses his balance. He can't hold his own weight up, and he's, like, falling off the bed, trying to, like, crawl. He doesn't even know where the sound came from. He only heard it once, but he just starts crawling, probably off to the right.
You hop out of bed. Give me a luck test.
I have really high luck right now.
You don't.
You do. Everyone does.
You certainly don't.
That is a 33 over 22 fail.
Okay. You knock over a stand, something that was maybe holding like some kind of bag of like fluids, and it falls to the ground. You feel something rip against you, and you look down, and you had something that was going into your veins now has been ripped free. It's a little bit of pain, but it's not hurting you too much. But the thing rattles down to the ground. It looks almost like a coat, like a coating, and it just rattles down and makes all sorts of noise. Marie, you would hear that, but Carmelita, you are awoken to the sounds of something crashing, like the images of like the plane crash, the cracking of the sound of cracking metal and like the glass itself. And you hear that sound rattling about. And as you look, you see that you are not in the plane. Your head utterly pounds as you lift it up, and you realize you are in a hospital bed. You, much like I've described elsewhere, you have a gown on, sheet covering you. You have scars and wounds. What do you think your major wound would have been?
I think, because it was a plane crash, I think she was unconscious before that. I think it's a huge gash from something in the plane and a ton of blood loss.
And so it's also probably stitches too.
Yeah.
So as you like wrench free, you can just, oh no, don't do that again. And so all of those stitches like threaten to pull out.
Yeah.
And you're quickly
she does
brought
sit up with
to
a
awareness.
start, because her first thought is that waking up in a hospital without knowing how she got there in the Yucatan. So
Not the first time this has happened.
No. These
You
fuckers keep
hear
ending me up in the hospital.
you say that, and I would say, Marie, Will, you both hear that. You hear the sound of Carmelita, and then Goldie, you also wake to the sound of a large crash, and then a familiar voice of someone you just met, just last night had dinner with, or maybe was it last night, or could have been. You're not really sure, because when you wake up, you too are in a hospital bed. You have a gown on. You have various wounds have been treated and taken care of. You feel pain in various places. But you also hear the voices of Carmelita and Will and Marie calling out. All of you are within, again, it's like some kind of curtain has been placed to create some sense of privacy, but you can certainly hear each other.
Yeah, Goldie will swear a little under her breath, but she'll sit up and look for like a call button for like the doctor or nurses or whatever, if there is one.
There is not.
And she'll kind of stumble up and open her curtain and just try and see if she could see everyone and see how they all are.
You appear to be in a relatively large recovery room of some kind. You can see that on one side, across from where your bed was, so your feet would have been pointing towards it. There are some large windows, very like kind of like almost Gothic in design, like old and kind of arched in a certain way, even slightly stained in places. But it lets in a great deal of light into the room itself, which is a mix of like a cream white and like a sage green, and then old molding here and there. And you can see that there are maybe a dozen other pods or beds or something like that. And you see activity in a few of them. And that's when you see Will kind of army crawling out from behind one of these little pods. And you hear the voice of Marie and Carmelita, one from the right of you, one from the left of you, and then Will is like across underneath one of those large windows.
Where is Mr. Price? And she'll start looking for him. Because the last kind of like flashing memory she has is just clinging to Will, trying to save him, and reaching for Patrick.
Do you get up?
Price.
I assume. Then I think we just
Ooh.
we just lost Ashley, right?
Am I back?
Is it just me?
Yeah, she's lagging.
Me too.
Okay, she's moving again.
Am I good?
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay.
Okay.
Last thing she
So do you
remembers.
get up and start looking?
Yeah, is holding to Will and then like reaching for Patrick as he's swimming towards her to help pull her out.
Okay.
So she starts to look for him.
You get up. You feel like the coldness of the floor. You feel the aching in your body. Wounds galore. You couldn't even count all of them. But as you start to look around, you realize most of the beds in this recovery room appear to be empty. But as you move from place to place, you notice there's Marie, there's Carmelita, there's Will crawling on the ground, dragging this like IV stand behind him as he does so. You find you see that some of the beds that are empty don't have the privacy curtain. And when you do a peek or two behind some of the other privacy curtains, you realize those are people you don't know. And they're like asleep and recovering. But you see no signs of Patrick.
And she'll kind of come back to the rest of the group. Where is Patrick? Mr. Price?
Marie, are you okay?
Mr. Sawyer, are you moving around?
I'm coming.
No, you don't
Patrick?
need to.
Patrick? Frank?
Mr. Kearns?
No responses from either. Goldie, when you looked at some of the other beds and saw some other patients, you did not see Patrick, you didn't see Frank.
Good done. She swears, and she'll. Is there like a double door that might lead to like a nursing station?
You see on either side of the long recovery room here, where again there's about a dozen beds on either side, on the wall opposite of the windows, obviously, you see doors on either side of those going into presumably the rest of this building.
Just okay. And Goldie will start to limp her way across the room because she's really the only one out of all of us who's not moving as terribly. And
Mhm.
we'll go looking for like a nurse or somebody.
Yeah, everyone took a bunch of damage. I think Will probably got the worst of it.
I think so, yeah.
Right? Because the
I'm down to
poison
3,
of
yeah.
their yeah.
Yeah.
I think you had the worst of it. And Patrick, I think we'll get to you in a minute, but I think you had your tough guy, Marie. I think you took like 7 or something like that. So, but yeah, Will definitely got the worst of it. Carmelita, you unfortunately I rolled really well for you, which meant that you have a giant major
Right.
wound gash now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that makes sense, Goldie. You go to the door, you open it up, opens up without issue, and you hear what was once muffled voices
Mhm.
are in fact now the voices of various doctors, nurses, and orderlies as you see a fully functioning hospital, nurses station. You can see a couple orderlies pushing one of them is like pushing a person in a like a wheelchair, like an old-fashioned wheelchair down the hall. You can see another is pushing an empty bed. You can see there's like little pockets of people talking here and there. But as you open the door and look out, there's a nurse behind the nurse's station counter who's like, "Oh, you are awake. Oh, goodness." She gets up and comes coming. No. Careful. Go back to your bed. You're no. It's okay. Everything is okay. Just return. You have many stitches.
One fell. He help.
Yes. Come. And she like very gently kind of comes up and tries to redirect you
Mhm.
back into the recovery
But
room
she's-
because you are.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
wobbling, and but she's
Yeah.
asking for help because Will is crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
is my other friends?
Go. One thing at a time. Return to your bed. It is okay. You are in the hospital, Superbissima. You are in Valletta. You are okay. You are in a terrible accident.
You got our distress call?
You crashed within sight of the harbor. The Royal Navy was able to get you quickly. Yes. Sit, please. You are very ill. And she's like trying to like usher you back to your bed.
In Goldie will let her. She's exhausted.
Okay. And then she'll turn and she'll see Will on the ground. Ooh. Again? Oh, goodness. And she kneels down and tries to help you up. Like, you've had to redo these stitches 3 times now.
Marie
Sit still.
needs help. She was calling for help.
Mr. Sawyer, I'm okay. I was just checking on everyone. Where's Mr. Kearns? Where's Mr. Price?
Frank and Patrick.
Yes. One moment. I will get the doctor, the attending. Dr. Gregg will speak with you. Yes. One moment. Everyone stay. And she shuffles back out. And you have a moment, obviously, to converse with each other before she returns, if there's anything you wanted to say to each other. It is not an entirely private room since there are other people, but Goldie, you didn't really see anyone that was conscious and awake and alert.
Marie would get out of bed at this point because now she's sort of, oh my goodness, I need to check on everyone and see with my own eyes how everyone is. And so she'll make her
Someone is
way.
doing the same.
Okay. So the two of you get up, and again, none of you broke legs or anything, so you're able to move around. I think, Carmelita, you've got that wound, but it's not preventing you from doing anything. You just feel it, right?
Yeah,
and so everyone's
it's
just moving a
lot
little
slower.
sluggishly. Yeah. Will, your limbs are stiff, but they are functioning, but you're feeling maybe like your balance is off a little bit to some degree. But all of you maybe pull the curtains back and you're like standing or sitting on the edge of your beds, and you can kind of see, the 4 of you can see each other, but you don't see Frank and you don't see Patrick.
What do we remember? Who remembers seeing Patrick last?
I was underneath trying to see what I would fix, and of course there were more spiders there, plastic spiders everywhere.
Spiders?
Yes, white spiders. That's Mr. Kearns was foaming at the mouth, and
I
Yes.
think I hit my head pretty early on. I don't think I saw anything.
I saw Mr. Price last. He came to help me with you, Mr. Sawyer.
He was okay. He was alive.
I do not. We were deep underwater. I am surprised I am alive.
Who got Frank? He was paralyzed.
Frank was paralyzed.
Don't see him. I don't hear him.
Goldie, you
did-
said you grabbed me, right? Who grabbed Frank?
I don't know. Patrick was already out of the airplane. He was.
Patrick grabbed Frank. He got Frank out.
I don't know.
Where's this damn doctor?
And with that, the door opens again. You see the nurse who's just helping Goldie, probably in her 30s or so. You can see with her hair done up very tightly underneath like a cap, and she has on like a kind of a white coat and then like a shawl over top of it for warmth or something. And then she has like a skirt and stockings, like white stockings. And then you can see the doctor is probably a fairly young man. You would guess like he could be just a couple years older than Will. Like he looks green in some ways. Like he looks like someone just recently out of medical, some sort of medical school. And he comes in and he says, "Wonderful, you are awake. Yes, excellent. Now I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
Where are the other two?
My name is. That is, yes, one of the many questions I am certain you want answered. We also have some questions as well. As I was saying, my name is Dr. Greg. This here is Nurse Vella. We will be taking care of you. We have been taking care of you. You all have been in a terrible accident. Your plane that you were in crashed about a mile.
We know that. Where are Patrick and Frank?
That is one of the questions that we have for you. We have the Navy was able to recover some belongings that included some identifiable information about each of you, but your names, assuming that then you are not Frank or Patrick, then I presume that you are. And would Will have had identifiable, like would it say Will Sawyer, or would it say something else?
I think Will would actually have two sets of paperwork. One that says Will Sawyer, and one that says Tom Ford.
Okay, so it's like, are you are you a William Ford or is you a William Sawyer or a Thomas Ford? Are you one of
Tom
those?
Ford. Will wasn't on the plane. Where is Frank and Patrick? There were 7 of us.
Yes. One moment. And there was Marie. And he'll rattle off your full name. What's Marie's full name? Because it's not just Marie Wynn. There's another name to it, right, Melissa?
Marie Wynn is her name. Sissy May is her stage name.
Okay, so as Marie Wynn.
Yes.
Marie
Yes,
Wynn.
that's me.
Yes. Carmelita Buñuel.
That's me, Doc.
Excellent. And then Goldie, is Goldie her like legal name, or does she have a legal name that would be on her on any kind of like passport transport docs or anything like that?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
No, I think Goldie would have been her name.
Okay. And then he'll turn to you and he'll say, "Then you must be Miss Ambrose, yes?"
Yeah, yes.
And this whole time, you can see the nurse has been like taking notes and writing this kind of stuff down. Yes. Now, as for Mr. Kearns and Mr. Price, I'm afraid I have some very difficult news. I would
very sorry to tell you this, but Mr. Kearns did not survive the crash, I'm afraid. When you all are feeling better, we would appreciate if one amongst you could visit the mortuary and
I'm ready.
make proper identification.
I need to see it.
I will take you down here in a moment. Mr. Price, he did survive the crash, but his injuries were much more severe than the four of you. He is currently in a private care ward. His injuries are such that we are not certain that he will survive. However, we are working diligently. Dr. Salazio himself, he is attending, and he is, at the minute we hear any sort of news, the minute he is allowed visitors, I promise you that we will take you to him.
Did you happen to find a it's probably silly, but did you happen to find a cat?
And the nurse speaks up. Oh, that was yours. Oh, yes. And then she will scurry back out and come back in, and the doctor's chuckling. And then there's this tiny little joy boy as well, alive and well. I don't want to kill another cat.
Marie reaches for Joy Boy.
Back to him getting the Dove soap oil scrub.
We just see flashes of the Royal Navy. Yeah. We just see the Royal Navy come and rescuing, and they see this woman floating, and then they see this kitten, and they go for the kitten, and then they come back and get Marie. Okay.
So, now, as for the four of you, was there someone here in Valletta that you were coming to visit that we could notify?
No, we
were traveling.
We were on vacation.
I see.
Can we answer your questions later? We need to. I need to see Frank.
Of course. Yes, of course.
Carmelita looks at Will. Do you want company?
No. Take me to Frank.
Yes. Well, Nurse Vella, you can handle it from here. With me, sir.
And he turns and he leads you out the room. Moments later, after you go into a lift, you come actually no, it's probably stairs
to walk.
Yeah, staggering a bit here and there. You're very stiff. Maybe an orderly will come over. The doctor will motion to an orderly, will come over and will kind of put an arm around you and kind of help you down. You are led to a basement level and into the mortuary, effectively. And there is eventually, after a few moments of wait, they bring out a slab with a sheet over top of it. And he looks at you, the doctor does, and says, "Are you ready, sir?"
Yes.
And he reaches down and he pulls back. And as he does, you see the face of Frank Kearns. You can see that his complexion has paled and is gone white and blue, contusions, bruises, scrapes. And it is most certainly Frank Kearns.
Will doesn't actually say anything, but he just can't take his eyes off it. He doesn't even blink, and he's just staring, this sort of dead stare, for as long as, it takes for the other person to say anything. Will is just locked in.
Okay. Give me 2 rolls here. Give me a sanity test for seeing the body of a friend of yours that you go back a very long way. like an older brother in some ways. And also spot hidden if you would like to do it. You don't have to do that one.
I always miss Pastor Wood when I have to do spot hidden. 89 on the sanity. My sand is 36, so that was a hard fail there. And
Okay.
then 34 under 51, so success on the spot hidden.
Okay, take a point of sanity loss just at the sight of your dear friend. But then you notice that his body, not just his neck, but several other places on his body, you can see have little bites like you have on your wrist, and it looks as though he suffered a few different bites. And you notice that he's got like a couple tattoos here and there that are probably very familiar to you from your time together. You don't notice anything that would look out of the ordinary. It just looks like a man who unfortunately suffered severely. A little bloated perhaps, but other than that, it looks like Frank.
Will just continues locked in, doesn't take his eyes off him, doesn't look up at the doctor who let him in, doesn't look anywhere but at Frank.
Okay. We're going to cut back then to the general recovery room, where the three of you, Marie, Goldie, Carmelita, you've been left with the nurse. She kind of fills you in a little bit on what happened. Crashed. You were in sight of the great harbor of Valletta. The Royal Navy was able, they saw this happen, so they're able to actually get out to your boat, or to your plane crash, within just a couple of minutes, actually, because there's all sorts of boats coming and going. They were able to retrieve. Mostly, they focused obviously on people. They did recover some personal items. The only thing that the hospital has are what you were wearing or were in your pockets. Everything else would be in the possession of the Royal Malta Police, and she kind of explains, like, you can go recover it. It's about a 15-minute walk from the hospital when you are ready to be discharged. And she also says that the four of you, you are able to leave when you feel as though you are ready to leave. They would be more comfortable with you leaving if they knew where you were going, like if you would leave some sort of forwarding address or contact information in case something else happened. But it doesn't seem as like the four of you are not under concern beyond what has already transpired. But she looks up at you and she says, "Is there anything I could do for you?" She has like a slight Italian accent.
Marie is looking at Goldie and Carmelita, who neither has been with us since the beginning. And she's terribly sad about Mr. Kearns, and Will just left. And so she says to the nurse, if I could impose upon you, if I could just see Mr. Price. I know he's not awake or anything, but if I could just,
yes.
you could accompany me and I could just see him, that would put my mind at ease.
I'm so very sorry. It is not permitted. The ward that he is in is it's intensive. It's for those of very severe injury. It is a closed ward.
But if I go with you, I'm not going to be just around.
I am not. I do not attend that ward. No. That is a private ward. I assure you, he is under the best of care. I promise you. Yes, Dr. Salazio is a brilliant physician.
And Marie's frustrated because this is sort of what happened with Dr. Key, that, Dr. Key is somewhere and she can't see her and she's not allowed to go. And so I would say that Marie probably puts up a bit of a scene at this. This is preposterous. I'm not asking. I'll follow any precautions that you might put upon me, but I demand to see my traveling companion and just see him. I'm not going to touch him. I just need to lay eyes on him and see that he is as okay as he can be.
Yes, I understand. I will speak with the doctor, and once Dr. Salazio is free, I shall have him come down and he shall speak with you himself. But that, for now, that is the best I can do.
Has Dr. Salazio shared any concerns about Mr. Bryce so far? Asked Carmelita, thinking about the hand on and wondering if that story has made the rounds.
He apparently, Mr. Price, your friend, he suffered a very severe wound, one that is that threatens him internally, and he is under careful supervision. And
Thank you.
At that, if I could ask the four of you to go ahead and just remove your headsets and earbuds, that would be great. So Long and I could hang out.
Not this again. Oh god.
Patrick, you the last, maybe you're having a dream about swimming and like seeing the silver lance continuing to sink deeper and deeper into the dark water, and seeing like the hair of Goldie just kind of fluttering out of the window. You feel like a hand on you, but then when you, like, on your shoulder, like trying to pull you up, and when you look over, you can see that the hand itself is not these like kind of stubs where fingers should be, and they're unable to grip. When you look up, you see the face of Anna do like a little start. When you look again, it's not Anna, but it's some kind of young, dark-haired woman in a uniform pulling you up out of the water, and then suddenly you're awake. And you look around, and you are in some bed. You are in a room by yourself. You can see the walls. The door is open to a hallway. You can kind of hear muffled voices in the distance. You look at your clothes, like you dip your head down. You can see you're in some kind of hospital gown. You can see a sheet over top of you. The walls are a mixture of like this sage green and this cream colored. You can see there's nothing in the room other than this bed. And maybe a stool in the corner. And as you go to move, you realize your arms are strapped down to the bed. Your feet are strapped down to the bed. And you hear the sounds of the mouth kind of stirring on your forearm. What are you doing? What are you thinking right now?
Checking around, pulling out the restraints, seeing if I'm alive.
Give me like a little spot hidden, maybe.
.23 is a hard success.
You notice that as you're looking and taking stock of yourself, despite the fact that you can't get up out of the bed, you do seem to be in okay condition. You've got some bruising and some cuts, and you can feel some wounds here and there, but you seem like you're in okay. And like you've been, and a lot of those have been patched up, cleaned up, stitched up in some cases. But then you look at your mouth on the forearm, and it is the healthiest that you've seen it in quite some time. It's still slightly discolored, but you can see it's writhing and it's moving. It's not as dry. It looks a little bit moist. In fact, it also has like your arm has like little spatterings of blood around it, like it has recently chewed on something.
This is not good. I'll try and pull out the bands. Maybe try to release the strains.
You pull, and you can barely get any kind of leverage on them. Give me a listen roll, we'll say.
"36 is also a hard success."
Damn, dude. Okay, you hear a voice actually, and as you like take a breath, as you thrash, try to pull, thrash, you hear a voice suddenly coming from. You're not sure if it's like kind of diagonal away from your door or if it's like right next door, but it's outside from it's like from a different room, you think. But you can hear a voice. You don't recognize the voice itself, and you most certainly don't recognize what's being said, but it catches your attention. You hear Kalun Thlaka Vel Esh Nagath Voryethra Malkaun Thalesh Igha Renthel Usa Malak Olueth Shena Aghales Kethru Maalen Usa Vek Ishravel Thuan Naglesk Tholina Lakshol Ma'ath Veka Veka Vek.
"Come out here, I can hear you."
You call out, and a few moments later, you see coming into the room with you, you see a man in a kind of a white coat. You can see his he's got like a white doctor's coat, like a lab coat, so to speak. You can see underneath it, he has like a button-down shirt with a tie. And you can see he's kind of like fiddling a little bit with his collar as he comes in. He has what looks like a clipboard of some kind. And you can tell he's got his hair is a little disheveled. It's like black with maybe a little bit of like a white streaks, gray streaks here and there. Lots of pomade in it. You can tell he's like puts a lot in it. And he says, "Oh, wonderful! You are awake. Oh, good. Let's see.
"What do you want from me?
Are you
Let me go."
what? Oh, no. I'm so sorry. No. We cannot do that. You are very sick. You are a very sick man. You are very sick, very ill. Going to take care of you here. We are going to take care of you. Of course we are. No. Do not worry. And he kind of comes over, and he's kind of like looking at some of your injuries and like, oh, that is healing very nicely. Very good. Very good. I do not know if you remember my name. We spoke once before, but you did not seem particularly aware. I am Dr. Salazio. Do you he kind of flips through his notepad. Mr. Kearns? No. You do not look like a Kearns. Mr. Ford? No. Mr. Price? Yes?
"How do you know those names?"
Oh, you see, Mr. Price, you were in a terrible accident. Your plane crashed into the sea. And, you were rushed here to the hospital. But I can see that you had a much more severe situation before that, yes? Perhaps a nose injury or a blessing? And his head tilts and he looks down at your forearm.
"No, this is a curse."
A curse? No. No, this is a blessing. You have been graced with something truly wonderful. Yes. Are you hungry?
"What have you done to it? Why is it moving?"
Oh, we have just taken care of it, just as we have taken care of you. Yes, of course. We are going to make you feel better. We are going to make your little blessing feel better as well. Yes?
I can't let you do that. Get me out of here.
Oh, no. Not yet. Mr. Donovan will be very curious to speak with you. Now that you are awake, he will be very keen to hear what you have to say. One such as you does not walk into our hospital every day, after all. Yes. No. You wait here. I will get you food. Yes.
Is he close enough to where I can grab him at all?
You could, yeah, but you're gonna have to do it with.
Just give him a little
I think you
scare
have to do it with a penalty
if it's
die.
possible. Yeah, no
Yeah,
problem.
do it with the penalty die because like you don't really have a lot of range of motion, and I'll try to dodge.
What am I rolling then, brawl?
Brawl's fine.
Okay. Oh, penalty makes me fail.
Okay, you kind of lunge out after him, but he's like, oh, well, I am pleased to see that your strength has returned to you. Your energy has returned. Oh, we should check those straps to make sure you do not harm yourself. Yes, your little blessing there managed to nip a few of the royal guards. But do not worry, do not worry. Your secret is safe with us. Yeah, there are many on the. Well, I should not give away every secret. Anyhow, just know there are friends here. But I will contact Mr. Donovan. He'll be most curious to speak with you. How you have received that? Where have you been? Where have you gone? Yes. Oh,
The crash.
I am sorry.
The
I
survivors.
have very bad news. Yes, I am so very sorry. You are the only survivor, unfortunately.
No. Can't be true.
Yes.
I grabbed Goldie. I remember.
Well, they were able to recover one body. Older man, middle age, perhaps in his 40s or 50s. But he did not survive, I'm afraid. He was dead before he even arrived at the hospital. The others, well, I'm afraid they went down with the plane.
What's the check on that? See if he's lying.
Psychology.
I'll give it a rip.
Yeah, go for it.
71 is a regular.
You have a very high psychology. Yeah, he's not telling you the truth. Since it's just a regular, I would say you probably aren't entirely sure what about that he's lying, but definitely what he just said was not entirely true. He's lying to you about something.
After hearing him say, I'm the only survivor, I'll feign that I believe him and just reside in my bed, kind of give up.
Do not worry. And he kind of like pats you on the foot and he steps out. We will get you something to eat. And he calls out, Luis, bring Mr. Price some food. And his blessing, of course. And you see, now, I have other patients to attend to, but you just stay right here. I will be back very soon. And hopefully Mr. Donovan will be here as well. And you see he wanders out. And then a couple moments later, you see these two large orderlies come in. One of them pulls the stool over, kind of next to where you are on one side, and you can see he has some kind of food, and he's kind of feeding it to you. It's maybe some kind of soup, and he's just like kind of scooping it towards you. Whereas the other one comes in, and you can see he is carrying kind of a bowl with a covering over top of it, and he unfolds the covering, and you just see like a bowl of meat, uncertain where it's from, what it is, and you see as he just kind of picks up a chunk of it and lowers it down onto the mouth on your forearm that just eats it up.
Can't do that. You can't. No.
And they just kind of look at you and don't even really say anything back. And we're going to go ahead and bring the others in. So and we'll come back to you.
What happened?
All right.
What did we do?
We met Long's new character.
Good
Oh,
old
cool.
Death
What's his
Pit.
name?
Yeah. John.
John.
Yeah.
Uh,
Apple seed.
all the way here in Malta.
Okay. So we come back. We'll say a little bit of time has passed. Maybe Will has returned. And the four of you are once more together in this general recovery room. and the door opens up, and maybe all talking. Maybe you were confirming if you wanted to about Frank, and you see a doctor in his maybe 40s, dark hair, a little bit of gray, white coat. You can see that he's got a button-down tie, that he's kind of fidgeting with the collar as he walks in, and he looks up at all of you and he says, "Oh, hello. My name is Dr. Salazio. I'm very pleased to see that all of you have awoken. Very good, very good. You all look very good, very well. The doctor taking care of you. Yes, you are getting good care."
Yes, thank you for your quality care, but I would like to see Mr. Price, please.
I'm afraid that is not possible right now. He is in a very, very tender state. He could.
I'm not
he's in
going
the intensive ward.
I'm not going to attack him or anything. I just want to see him through the door. Even just need to make sure that he's okay.
I completely understand that. Of course.
I don't think you do.
But, oh no, I do. I've been doing this for many years. I understand. But he is in a ward for intensive private care. Many patients up there that they need their rest. Any sort of disruption could set back their recovery. You see, it's not a case of us not wanting you to see him. It's just a case of where he currently is a closed wing. It is not a wing that we allow visitors to. But I have been told that you are able to leave and to discharge yourselves if you give us your forwarding information to where it is you're going to be staying here in Valletta. We shall contact you immediately when he is ready to see visitors. Yes, sir.
I think after we get situated, we will reach out and let you know where we are. But we need to figure that out first. So we'll give you that information later.
Of course, sir. So after you find a place where you're staying, you could call the hospital and check in. And at that point, we'll arrange a time for you to see Mr. Price. Yes.
Yes, and Marie wanted to make sure that she heard correctly that Patrick was upstairs when he was like, "This is me."
Yeah, he just kind of pointed out. Yeah.
Okay. So Marie will realize that she's not going to win this argument, but note where he is.
Okay.
Do you happen to know of any accommodations close to the hospital?
Oh, of course. There are many wonderful hotels here in Valletta. It depends on your finances, of course. Some are a little bit more affordable for travelers. Others, the Hotel Columbia, very modest. The Hotel British as well, if you are looking to stay on the cheap. Yes, you should speak with the police. They probably have your things.
Okay.
I will instruct the nurse to bring your clothes, if that's all right. Yes?
Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Will has just been laying in his bed, just kind of like staring off at the other window, just not even really like in the conversation.
Are you sure Mr. Sawyer has also been discharged?
I was told that there was not a Mr. Sawyer, that there was a Mr. Ford.
Oh, I am terrible with names. He was supposed to join us, but you are right. A Mr. Ford? He is okay to leave?
Well, if you think it would be better for him to stay here, we could keep him for another night, yes.
I'm not staying.
Well, there it is then.
Okay.
I wonder if I might do a because I don't really know how to like frame this. Carmelita's alarm bells are going off a little with the doctor. In that like she's not sure if this person is like there's no way he didn't see the head. And so she is wanting to know if he's like with Rogers and can be trusted, or if we're gonna have to sneak in and break Patrick out later. So I'm trying to assess his trustworthiness, I guess.
Yeah, you could roll a psychology test. I mean, the psychology test will just tell you whether or not like he's being truthful or shady. The rest of that is what you would kind of have to extrapolate from that
Fair
for
enough.
yourself.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's a good
Thank
call.
you.
Checking the psychology on that.
62 under a 70.
Yeah, regular success, I would say he is giving you some very strange vibes. I would say your alarm bells going off seem to be well tuned. He seems a little shady, for sure.
Okay.
Now, is there anything else I can do for you? Like I said, Nurse Vela will be in here shortly with your belongings, and then she'll move you through discharge, and then you are free to see the city. I am sure the hospital will make arrangements for what to do with your deceased Mr. Kearns. Yes.
We will address that later. And Marie just sort of looks at Mr. Sawyer and Carmelita and just sort of moving toward the door.
Excellent. Now, don't do anything crazy here. It's a beautiful city, but you will still need rest. Goodbye. Ciao. And he leaves.
Okay. A few minutes later, nurse comes in, has your clothes as best as they are. They're not in great condition. They've been torn, but they've been cleaned and dried and all sorts of things. But you can see many of them have holes in them, rips in them, tears in them. Again, the only things you would have, the only thing the hospital would have is anything you were literally wearing or in your pockets. Anything that looked like a weapon, like a knife, a switchblade, a gun, is unfortunately not here. But they did say that if you want to recover whatever personal items would have been put into the recovered by the Navy when they were getting you, would likely be in the possession of the police.
Marie would
I still have my really nice fountain pen.
Sure. You can have that. We'll say that's there.
As we're being walked out, Marie would like to be walking slowly as if she's hurt, which she is, but she's going to play it up a bit more so that she can be looking around at hallways and where there might be stairs and how much security there might be, and those kinds of things.
Carmelita's
That's what she
gonna
wants to keep an
stop
eye
off
on.
at the nurse's desk and ask, sorry, we were told that we could call in and check in on Miss Price later, but I've
Of course.
missed getting what floor he was on. Do you mind just telling me what floor he's on? I can just call later.
He's calling you. You cannot call directly to his room. You would be calling to the hospital switchboard, and then we will make arrangements as needed. Yes, but he is in the private care ward. He is under excellent care. Do not worry. Do not worry.
Okay.
Now,
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Marie, you can make Marie and Carmelita. Both of you can make a spot hidden roll. Goldie or Will, what are you two doing as you're kind of being let out and going through the process of discharge?
I think Will's not thinking straight right now because he's thinking about the death rather than he would believe that Patrick's hurt. So he's not really worried about picking up on alarm bells or anything like that. He's got no reason to distrust these people as of right now. So he's just kind of like walking in almost zombie-like fashion. He's
Okay.
shut down a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. So we'll say you are just alongside Marie or something like that, like pacing with her, but while she is keeping her eyes peeled, you are just sort of blank stare straight ahead. What about Goldie?
Goldie, I would say she's eavesdropping. She's trying to see if she can overhear anything.
Okay, you can make a listen test then.
Okay, cool.
So, Jeff, I generally get a bonus for spot hidden with my pop down. I'm wondering if
Yep.
that comes into play now, or my major wound will affect it.
Wound has nothing to do with it. So yeah, you can take it. Okay, so let's just go around. Marie, how did you do?
I rolled a 44 under 72, and I'm willing to spend 8 luck to bring that to a hard spot hidden success.
Okay. Hang on to that for a second. Let me hear what everyone says, and then we'll make that decision on whether you want to spend it. Carmelita, how is your spot?
39 under 60, just regular.
So both of you got regular. Marie, go ahead and spend it then.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Carmelita, while you are moving away from the nurse's station, you see one or two nurses and orderlies kind of wheeling out like a cart with various like vials and medications and things on it. And you notice that there are a few of them that have these kind of ornate looking glass vials with like an orange liquid inside of it. And that the like a few of the orderlies or the nurses are just kind of filling up some syringes from it. But it looks like they're making like a mix first, like they're pouring that into one thing and then they're putting in something else to dilute it, and then they're loading up these syringes and then slowly like aligning those syringes on that tray. That's what you see from where you're at. Marie, with yours, as you're wandering down, you were specifically looking for security, and there are orderlies here, but you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. You see a lot of orderlies, and some of which are carrying around these syringes, and some of them are carrying around, there's nothing's kind of striking you particularly out of the ordinary, until you look up and you see signage over when you're looking down one hall to like a separate wing, and you can see that there are like a couple orderlies that are going down it, kind of pushing this and that. Again, it just looks like normal business. But then you see over top of it, there is like a sign over the hallway, and it says Montgomery Donovan Wing. And then Goldie, how did you do on your listen test?
I failed.
Okay. Did you want to push?
It's too much luck to push to succeed.
Oh no, well push would be you roll again, but if you fail though, there could be consequences. Well, there will be consequences. So it's up to you whether you want to risk it.
Pushing has not ended well for me before.
You don't have to do it.
Just for Bev. It might be amazing for Goldie.
You were trying to roll under a 40, right?
Yeah.
Like a 60% chance.
Mm-hmm. That you fail.
Only at 60%.
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it for the vibes.
Okay.
Oh, bad idea. That's
fine. That's fine.
Steven.
Okay.
27. Success.
Nice.
Excellent.
I was scared.
Nice.
My heart dropped in my butthole. Speaking of Thursday,
you were lingering around the nursing station, and maybe at one point you were leaning just a little too closely and making it look a little too obvious, and like someone looked over at you, but you were able to like kind of quickly
I make it look like I was just more like bracing myself, like I was out of breath or something.
Kind of over where Carmelita had spotted some of the nurses and the orderlies kind of working on filling up some syringes, you overhear them referring to like a phrase. They call it like orange juice. Like they're like saying like, filling up the syringes with orange juice, and like just got to get a little jolt back into some of these patients, things like that. Like you just see like they're talking about it in this completely kind of ubiquitous way. Like it's just like a normal thing. Like they're just talking about whatever it is they're filling up. I would say Goldie isn't entirely sure what it is, what you notice and what you hear is them referring to it as orange juice. Something about it not having an official name, and how it's somehow helping give some patients just a little bit of a jolt to get back on their feet.
Are any of them perhaps speaking like Italian or anything?
You've heard Maltese, English, and that's primarily the two that you're hearing.
Okay.
And mostly English, though.
Got it.
But there are a couple that are speaking in sort of Maltese. So I would say Goldie would know that Maltese, English, Italian are probably the three most spoken languages here.
Okay. She does know that because she treated Frank, and Frank was vomiting like this orange substance when he seized.
That's true.
Is it similar to that?
It's orange, that's for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Ugh.
Okay. So Marie, Goldie, Carmelita, you all clock something, different things. Carmelita, you weren't with us in Bangkok, right?
No.
Yeah. And because that's what, yeah. And I'm trying to remember if you would recognize the fancy looking bottles, but they look very perfume like. It's kind of bizarre to see them. They almost look like perfume bottles for you. But nonetheless, that's what the three of you clock. Do you continue just through the process of getting discharged and checked out of here now?
I'd like to pull these guys away and just sort of have a quiet conversation before we do.
I would say that that's probably not something you would be able to do.
Okay.
You're
Until we get
literally being
outside.
followed and walk through
Got it.
like outside
Got
you
it.
you might conjuring a reason to suddenly do that might draw attention.
Got it. Thank you. Then no.
Okay. So, and then Maria or Goldie, was there anything that you were like looking to try to push to do on top of that?
Marie
Okay.
got what she was looking for.
Okay.
Shocked, obviously, by the name, and so like similar to Carmelita,
Yeah.
like wants to be free of these folks so that we can talk, and so she's looking to get outside.
Okay. Go through, we see like this little montage of you just going through a discharge process. There's always a nurse nearby. There's always an orderly nearby. Like every time you go to try to say something to each other, like someone's just in earshot. And a couple times you catch some of those people moving about again with those like trays and things that have like different syringes and stuff on it. Yeah, Marie.
Now that I think about it, I did see this big name on
It's
the.
okay. I was going to try to let Long play a little bit, but go ahead, Melissa.
Sorry, but I saw the name, and so I think Marie would go with the naive out of towner approach and say, my, when someone gets their name in the wing of a hospital, they must be an important local individual.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if you're saying this to like Nurse Vela as she's going through and she kind of looks up at you. Oh, yes. Mr. Donovan. Yes, sir. He's a donor here. Yes.
He's well-to-do local then?
Oh, yes. British, I think. But no, yes. He a very wealthy and generous man, I believe. Yes. Pity. Shame what is he's...
You see, she kind of gets this sort of sad look.
It is a shame what he has had to go through of late. Very generous, though. He has helped us quite a bit.
Well, my father is a doctor in the States, and often find that when people donate to hospitals or doctors' offices, there's usually a family reason. They're in honor of a family member, or they knew someone who suffered. She sort of leaves that hanging.
You can make a test if you like.
I would love to charm, maybe.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. This is all like paperwork. you're kind of like giving over contact information, like about trying to like contact Frank's next of kin. Like all this kind of stuff is happening while this conversation is going on. Good.
Heck yeah, that is a 39 under 84, which is a hard success.
Oh, yes.
She looks around and kind of gives you a little smile.
Yes, he's a boy. He's a little boy. We are treating him. Very sick, a little boy. Monty Junior. I don't treat him myself, but he is here. He's been sick for quite some time, and
Oh, a little
a poor
boy?
little boy. Yes, and this is after his mom, his poor mommy, died some time ago. I don't know exactly. But Mr. Donovan comes to see him almost every day. Yes, comes and visits.
Oh, how sad for Mr. Donovan.
Yes, it's very sad. But Dr. Solazio is working on it and will do a wonderful job, I'm sure. Yes.
Dr. Salazio is quite the busy doctor here.
Yes. All of these special cases he seems to get. Yes.
Wow, just the good work, doing the good work here. And then she sort of remembers
Grazie.
that she's injured. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, now you be careful out there. Yes, no boating.
Thank you.
And we'll say then the four of you leave the hospital without any issue. Get your clothes back on as best you can, and you leave. I'm gonna ask the four of you to then go ahead and mute the sound or whatever it is that you get to do to not hear exactly the horrific things that I'm doing to Lon. Okay. So Patrick, you get some soup kind of thrust into you. You watch in horror as the orderly feeds these you're not even sure what kind of meat it is, but just feeds this meat to your the mouth on your arm. And then the one who was feeding you kind of wipes your mouth up a little bit, but the one that was feeding the mouth on your arm doesn't do anything. And you can see like the tongue of the mouth comes out and just kind of licks around your forearm, and you just feel it moving a bit in ways that you haven't felt in a few months. Actually, I think it's been like your meditations have been working quite well. This is the most active it's been. What are you doing, man?
Welcome back, buddy. How have you been?
It just
Was the doctor? Was the Donovan fella? What am I doing here?
one of the orderly looks down at you.
You are sick. You are being taken care of. Don't worry. Dr. Solazio will help you.
Can you loosen the binds a bit then? They're kind of tight. Gotta know where to
They
go.
kind of look at each other, and they're like suspicious. Give me a roll. See if you can get a little sympathy.
I'll do a
from
little
these
persuade.
guys.
See if they'll do it
Okay.
or not.
Yeah.
Hey, 14 is hard.
Okay. What do you think you say to persuade him? What do you say?
I'm sick. I'm not going anywhere. I'll comply. So just all the basic things.
Okay.
All right, but no funny stuff. The ward is locked. Cannot go anywhere, and all you're going to do is disturb the children. So you must don't get funny now. You promise you won't be funny.
I've come to learn. You can't really go anywhere with this thing.
And so he'll reach out and he'll loosen them. He doesn't take them off completely, but he'll loosen them so that you get a little bit more circulation in like your wrists. And then they'll leave.
And then I'll lie about to see if there's anything else in the room and just wait for people to show up.
There's the stool which is like it's like sort of just slightly out of reach, because he left it to the side of you, but he didn't, because he didn't put it back in the corner. He just kind of left it there, and like you can almost kind of reach it now that the bindings are loose. If you want to try to give me a strength test, you might see if you could kind of reach over and grab it.
Strength test. Okay. My strength is 60. 11. That's a extreme.
All right. You're reaching, and then you pop this. You pop them off. It's not so much that like you tear them, like you pop them off of where they're anchored to the bed, and so it's like you have like a bracelet now, essentially like a bracer, but you rip it free, and your right arm is now free, and you can kind of reach out. You can grab the stool, but you have an arm free here, because I think your mouth is on your left arm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So your right arm is free. What do you want to do?
I'll use that to loosen other binds.
Okay. You go through it. You kind of unbuckle everything in your bindings, or you're out of your bindings.
And I'll explore the room a bit.
It's a very small room. It looks to be like like when you look around, there is a window above and behind your head that is tall but relatively narrow, and you can see that it's got like bars, and there's like no other furnishings or anything in here other than the stool and the bed. There's probably like maybe a bedpan or something beneath your bed, but other than that, there's like nothing else.
I'll see if the room's unlocked.
Yeah, they left the door open.
Then I'll start sneaking around the wing to see what's happening
Okay.
here, where I'm at.
You peek your head out the door, and you notice a long hallway, and you can even see the two orderly guys are kind of at the end of the hall, walking towards what looks like some kind of nursing or admin station. You can see that there are a handful of other doors similar to yours, some closed, some open, some across the hall, some where you're at as well. So again, long hall. Far end, you can see like a station to where the orderlies are going. Couple other private rooms, open, closed doors here and there. To the left, it looks like there's a door at the far end of the hall, but you can't quite tell what it is. It's kind of got like frosted glass, and it looks like kind of like a heavy lock. It's some kind of secure door, but you're not sure.
I'll pop my head into some of the open doors, see if there's any other patients, what kind of people are in there.
Okay. Sure. You poke your head into one, and you see there is a little boy laying in the bed. And he is, no more than 10 years old, maybe less. It's hard to kind of tell exactly. Kind of dark hair. You notice he's got some bandages like on his wrists, and like little tiny little like sutures and stuff like on his face or on his arm here and there. And he's got he's got the blanket over, like a sheet over top of him, but he's not bound to the bed the way you were. He's just like laying free, and he's just kind of like turning a bit in the bed. He's awake.
I'll walk around the room. Maybe pull a stool next to him.
Yeah. And the room looks much like your own. The only difference is that where yours was empty on the wall, there's nothing on the wall. You notice that there's like a file folder like right next to, on the inside of the door, on the outside of the door as you go to move in. And you can see that there is like a little folder in it. Like it's this chart, basically, his medical chart. And you come into the room, but he looks up at you and he says, "Hello. Who are you?"
Hey, kid, I'm your neighbor. Dr. Price. You got a name?
Alexi?
And he seems like really out of it.
Alexi, how long you been in here?
Weeks? Months?
And as you're talking to him, he's like shifting and moving. His like kind of head is tilting. His arms, he kind of like flops over top because they were underneath. Like he's struggling to get comfortable. And so he's kind of like thrashing around a little bit. You notice as he pulls one of his arms up over top of the sheet that he has what looks like a dozen bite wounds all down his arm. Now, they're scabbed over in places. That none of them look to be like recent. None of them look to be terrible, but you can see they're scabbed over or scarred in some way. But you definitely see them, and then he kind of shifts and moves, and you see a few on his neck, a couple more on his other arm as he moves around.
You got some gnarly marks there. Did an animal get you?
No. No. The mouse got me. Teeth. Lots of teeth. I was fishing. I was fishing by the warehouses. And I wanted to go get the fishes. And then the ground bit me. It bit me. I tried to run, but there were teeth everywhere, mouths everywhere. And I fell down and they bit me some more. I tried to crawl and they bit me some more, and then someone got me, and I woke up here.
What do you think of the doctor? He's a good guy.
Kind of shrugs.
I don't know.
Have you heard of a Donovan? You know what he looks like?
And he like holds up a finger and he kind of points across the hall, like through you and across the hall.
I'll see you around.
Give me a luck test.
My
And I don't have a
17
lot of
luck. Ooh, that's not good. Let's fail.
Your mouth on your arm starts and like the kid goes, "Oh no, not the mouse, not the mouse, no," and he starts to kind of panic a little bit, and he's starting to make noise. What do you do?
I'll run out of the room, head back to mine.
Okay, as you run out of the room, you kind of spy over to where he was pointing, and you see there's another little boy laying in the bed. You don't catch, obviously since you're moving fast, you don't see too much, but like you race over into your room, you start to hear the sounds of like a feet of someone shuffling down. You hear the voice of the orderly and everything kind of come into the room where Alexi was, and he's like, "Okay, calm down, Alexi, calm down. It's okay." And like Alexi's like, "A mouse, yeah, the mouse." No, there's no mouse here. You're fine. No, he had it. It was on his arm. And you can kind of hear them going back and forth. They're right next door. What do you do, Patrick?
Laying in my bed, just act like I didn't go anywhere.
Okay. So you hear the kids just like, "Yeah, the man, he had an arm. He had a mouth on his arm." Oh, he did he? And then moments later, you hear thump, thump. And you see coming in is the same orderly that had been feeding you soup. "I thought I told you not to go anywhere. Thought you weren't going to be a problem."
I've been here.
"You scared the little boy. Let's just go ahead and make sure those bindings are tight. Yeah, no funny business from you. Don't want to knock you out again. Yeah?"
No trouble for me. Come on.
He comes over and he's about to do your bindings again. Do you let him?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, and so he does your bindings, and then he knows, looks like you went for a little walk after all. That's so sneaky, so sneaky. And he redoes them and like rebuckles them. And you are once more bound to the bed. Okay. And we're going to fade out of that. I'm going to bring everybody else back in now. All right. We're back. Everyone's here. Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's great. And you guys, we see you freshly walking out of the hospital, out onto the streets of Valletta. It is late afternoon. It is not quite evening time. The air has got a chill to it, but it's very nice. And you see around you the beauty of Valletta unfolding. These old, these tall old buildings here and there. You hear the sounds of birds overhead. If you look down a street or an alleyway, eventually you can see out to the water, this way and that. And you all are walking and walking and walking. What are you talking about?
Did everyone see, Mr. Sawyer? The name of the wing is the Montgomery Donovan wing.
That was one of the names in the correspondence with me.
Yes, that's exactly why we're here. He's very mixed up with Nectar, and I was able to talk to the nurse, and he is apparently here every day. So that gives us an opportunity that we could try to hang around here, maybe tomorrow, and see if we can follow him and see where he lives. His son is being treated in the same upstairs ward that Mr. Price is being treated.
Well, I don't trust that doctor as far as I can throw him. And I've got stitches, so I can't throw him very far.
You are quite injured, Miss Buñuel.
Yeah, listen, they've never not known we were coming. And the longer we leave stuff, the more chance there is of them being able to move him. So I think we should sneak back in as soon as we can.
Oh my word. This is Mr. Sawyer, this reminds me of Bangkok, where we had barely settled in and everything just went so awfully, so quickly. And Marie sort of had gotten all this information and was a little, kind of mind spinning. And as she's sort of looking at Will, she sort of slows down for a second. But in Bangkok, we had Mr. Kearns to fly us away back to safety.
If they wanted to kill us, they would have done it while we were in a coma. They had plenty of chances to kill us. Same with Patrick. Like, the odds are that we didn't see what happened to him. He took an injury. Frank is dead. We survived a plane crash. He's probably just in intensive care. They're worried about some sort of infection. We find a place to stay. We start doing the groundwork.
So. I don't even know if he's dead or not. How can you... What?
Well, they did tell
us if he was dead.
So?
They showed me Frank's body.
So what?
And it was Frank, right?
We haven't seen Patrick's body. We haven't seen any
he's not
part
dead.
of Patrick.
If he was dead, they would have showed us.
So, why would they? Why? Because suddenly they have a crisis of conscience? Why would they show us?
They showed me Frank's. Why would they not show me Patrick's?
I don't know, because Patrick has that fucking arm on him, like that mouth on him. Patrick is not the same as Frank, as far as these people are concerned.
I think we should. They were recommending hotels that we should go to, and I think we should go to the police. We should see how many of our belongings there are. We don't want them sitting with the police any longer than they need to. And we should find a hotel that was not one that they recommended. Get our bearings. We absolutely should go back, but we should make sure that we lose ourselves in the city first and maybe go back under dark of night.
They know the city far better than we will. They're going to have people watching us, looking for us. If they... It's better not to raise an alarm. If they recommended a hotel, let's go to one of those hotels so they don't think that we're suspicious of them.
I mean, if we're being followed, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Now, I agree that it's concerning that the ward is named after Donovan, but at the same time, we know that Donovan has been producing nectar here. Savitri was importing it. Well, it makes sense that they would produce it at a hospital. Medicine and drugs everywhere. No one would think twice about that.
Definitely.
That doesn't necessarily mean that Patrick's in danger right now, other than what critical injury he took from the crash.
The nurses, they had this orange substance that looked like what Frank Kearns vomited after those terrible spiders infected him with their venom. They called it orange juice, in that they give it to the patients and that it gives them a zip, a jolt, but they don't know what it is.
They're giving nectar
will
to
ask
patients?
Will and Marie, have you seen nectar before? Is it orange?
I've seen nectar from
It can be
multiple
orange.
places. When we were
Can be
in
orange.
Daniel Lohman's apartment in Bangkok, he had a box with different types of vials, and I believe those were different colored liquids inside. Different styles of vial. Every location
That
seems to
makes
make
sense.
something slightly different.
The bottles did not look like medicine bottles. They
Your
look
Dr.
very
Key,
ornate.
Yes, your Dr. Key had a theory that depending on the method of creation, it affected appearance. Yes?
Yes, each, just like food, is slightly different in each region. Local spices and local things. Nectar is different. And they almost compete for the better strain, as it were.
Like all drugs.
Why don't we go to this to a hotel and we go, because I think going back under cover of night is probably a good idea.
Are we being followed, Jeff?
We would like
me a
to
spot
look
hidden test.
around. Is this something we can all do? Or
Yeah.
you want Goldie
Yeah,
to do?
If you
Okay.
want to, sure.
Oh, Goldie did not do well. 83 over 45.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, it's fail for Goldie. Who else? No, I said 90
Success
something.
for Carmelita with a 3460.
Okay.
Fail.
Anybody else?
Fail for Marie with an 85 over 72.
Wow.
I know,
Wow.
right?
Okay, so
Not rolling. Yeah.
go ahead, Will. Okay.
No, Will's being
So-
contrarian.
Yeah. I was picking up on that. So
Will
you
or
guys
Steven?
are
No, it's a
don't
fair
roll
question.
his friend and older brother basically just died. Cut him
Yeah.
some slack. Just saying.
Yeah,
I
seriously.
appreciate Steven playing that. So you guys have been walking down this long street away from the hospital. You don't you don't notice anyone following you, Carmelita. But one thing you do notice is like a very modern looking silver sedan, or not silver, like a luxury car. You can see it drive past you as you all are walking this way, and you can see it sort of driving past you, and you can see that like there are as it kind of comes to a stop along the road near the hospital. You can see like a door opens up and several people file out of it. You can see that there are like 2 from the front, and it looks like 3 from the back. And all of them are dressed in suits of some kind. They all look kind of professional looking. And they One of them lingers by the car, but the other 4 kind of take up. They kind of walk over towards the hospital and are kind of standing outside the hospital, as if waiting for something. Do you do anything?
I'm gonna quietly point that out to everybody, and we'll say, do you, any of those look like Donovan to you?
We don't know what he looks like. We just know his name.
Don't know what it looks like. Okay.
Do they look like hired muscle or anything like that?
Hmm.
Maybe
Give me a
they're picking up
psychology
drug
test, maybe?
like a drug drop.
Good thing I took
Is
psychology.
Will
instead of
gonna
pilot.
look? With this being like, Will actually finally turns and looks.
Carmelita said,
okay.
do they look like Donovan? So he would turn and look. Whether he shares his information is different. 32 under 60. I'll spend the 2 points to make it a hard success.
Nice.
Okay. With that, you notice you notice a few of them as you're looking, and maybe you guys like linger a bit. And you look back. 1 or 2 of them, as they're walking across the street, kind of buttoning the coats, you see they're packing. Like they have in some kind of holster underneath their coats, they got guns. But because you rolled a hard success, the other thing you're going to get is that you see walking like across the road now, right in front of the hospital, like coming out from like a cross street or an alleyway, and now suddenly being visible. You see a couple more guys dressed just like this, and they seem to be like kind of flanking or escorting another individual. You see a man kind of like flanked in between them, as like walking across the street. Like at one point, like you can see one of the dudes in the suits kind of puts his hand up and like kind of stops what looks like a car that was about to drive past. And you see this other like kind of well-dressed man like walking across. He's kind of got this kind of regal look to him in some ways. Like he's not kingly, that's overstating it, but like he it looks like he's very used to the notion that like these people are around him kind of directing traffic, and he is just like moving through it as if this is the most common thing in the world. And his suit, you notice, Will, is just absolutely like beautiful, to be honest. Like it's a beautiful suit. He's got like this, it's one of the finer suits. It kind of puts to shame all of the men that seem to be guarding him. And they walk him like right across the street. And you know, he's got kind of like a dirty blondish sort of hair going on, and you see they walk into the hospital. We cut from there, and we're going to go back to, you guys can stay on. We go back inside the hospital a couple minutes maybe later, and we're in Patrick's room. Patrick, you're there. You hear the sounds of footsteps, you hear the sounds of voices, you hear the sounds of like muffled conversation, and then you hear like the footsteps get louder, and there's multiple steps of them, and then you hear the familiar sound of Dr. Salazzo, and he's talking to somebody, and he's like, yes, Mr. Donovan, we found him. He woke up just a few hours ago. And like he comes around the corner, and you see walking into your room, Patrick, is Dr. Salazzo, and then you see a man sort of middle-aged with a perfectly tailored, beautiful suit with a little kind of fine silk handkerchief in his pocket, and he says, and so Salazzo says, Mr. Donovan, let me introduce you to Mr. Patrick Price. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end for tonight, and we'll pick up on that next time around.
Oh my
There
gosh.
you go.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Kearns is dead.
I'd
is.
say
Why couldn't it have been Patrick?
Ugh.
By the way, so everyone knows
That's
in
funny.
chat, Stephen was floating the idea of trading Joy Boy surviving for Frank Kern surviving. So just so everyone knows,
Actually,
that was
I mean,
floated as an option.
come on. I feel like
Literally floating.
that's not a bad trade.
Literally. Oh.
Can Joy Boy fly a plane?
Sure
Apparently
can.
We
not,
don't know
'cause we
that.
crashed.
Yeah.
If Joy Boy
After-
can fly a plane, he's an asshole for not doing it. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Cats always land on their feet, so he was fine.
Oh
man.
my
All right.
gosh.
Well, welcome to Malta. I'm glad you guys are here.
We made it here and met Mr.
Great.
Donovan very,
Shit
very
went
quickly.
to hell before we even fully got
You don't
here.
know.
So it's like Bangkok escalated.
Right?
This time it's not really our fault though. Like we didn't just like kick the hornet's nest. It just happened on its own.
We just kicked a spider's nest, apparently.
I feel like, you know,
I'm making a facial expression because I'm not sure I agree with everything you said. That's fine. It's fine.
When do you really agree with everything I say?
That's true. That's a good
maybe
point.
we
Yeah,
should have
I agree
tried
with
to
that.
research a bit more before we got on this plane, you know?
No, you guys are fine. You guys are fine. You're gonna live forever. I mean, as a party, you're gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Each individual character probably not, but like
A
Joy Boy's not getting
constellation of
killed.
people.
Joy Boy will carry it on. The next party will be whoever it is that discovers Joy Boy.
Joy Boy has this like hanging from his collar. He has this tiny little notebook with like notes and it leads.
Amazing.
All right, let's do a couple closing plugs and we can get on out of here. Stephen, Hush, Maitreyi, where can we find you on the internet?
I am Maitreyi's Games on YouTube, where I make system agnostic or multi-system tabletop content that centers the GM and player experience.
Fantastic. Stephen, I hear you're a game designer. What's that about?
Yeah, it's a hobby of mine. You can go to huckleberryrpg.com/pre-order if you want to pick it up. Huckleberry is a Weird West action horror game. I've said this a lot on the channel, and you probably have heard it a lot. So instead of listening to me, just go find the Huckleberry playlist on the channel and watch that next.
Yeah. I got to add some more to that. And I have still some stuff to put up on that playlist too.
Well, we got
If
the
you
Divine
missed,
Comedy
our
on there.
last
There's
stream.
like 15 hours to
Yeah.
watch.
Yeah. We got a couple more Veils and Vengeance to put up there as well. So you're going to have, I don't know, like 4 days worth of videos to watch. It's going to be great. Okay. Rest of it. Let's see. What do we got for streaming schedule? Next up, I think is Monday. We're probably doing some We're in Danger, which is my little silly game. Victorian knee punching. I don't know. We're doing Red Dawn, but with red caps in Victorian setting. So there you go. Tuesday, we've got Hardwired Island. Kips was running us through some cyberpunk millennial stuff. We're trying to free some robots. Maybe that might not be the right thing, but we're gonna do it anyway. Thursday, we've got Legend of the Mist. It's our rustic fantasy game. And then next Saturday, we'll be back with Call of Cthulhu. And I think sometime, not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I think we should have a Conan episode ready to go. So that's where we're at. All right. We're going to raid somebody. I think we're going to raid Dead Aussie Gamer. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.
Have a seen you.